Yesterday, a child came out to wonder, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle again. And the child moved 10 times round the seasons, skated over 10 clear frozen streams. Words like, when you're older, must appease him, and promises of someday make his dreams. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. Can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round on the circle game. With 16 springs and 16 summers gone now, cartwheels turn to cartwheels through the town. Tell him, take your time, it won't be long now, until you drag your feet to slow the circles down. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. Can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round on the circle game. So the years spin by, and now the boy is 20. Though his dreams have lost some grandeur coming true, there'll be new dreams, maybe better dreams and plenty, before the last revolving year is through. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down, as we're captive on the carousel of time. Can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in the circle game, and go round and round and round in the circle game, and go round and round and round in the circle game.
And it goes round and round and round. I love it. The circle goes round and round. Good morning, Jason Goldstein.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. That song is so touching and sweet and kind and provocative all at the same time.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's written by whom?
Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell.
Yes.
Now it makes sense. I kept listening to it thinking, oh, this sounds like Phoebe Snow. But it's Joni Mitchell. Yes, of course. It's the era of storytelling. I just had a moment of longing for that in today's music. So I've been on this deep dive, if you will, through social media and YouTube of a myriad of Donna Summer songs
Oh, wow.
that I've been playing of late, and certainly MacArthur Park, which is storytelling in a most unique way. But the Joni Mitchell, Phoebe Snow era is a bit more literal, albeit lyrical and round and round. Happy to have you here. Glad you're up and about on this spring forward day of the seasons going in circular forum, right?
Yeah, me too. It's great to be here.
Cool.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Happy Sunday, everyone, if you're joining us live. And if not, let's know together that it's Sunday and what other form and format we come together. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I just put this scarf on. I was cold. And it's not cold at all outside, but it's certainly cold in my house. Anyway, welcome to our Sunday celebration service. If you're joining us live, it is the 8th of March, spring forward, and I'm joining you from the land of Los Angeles, where you may hear overhead helicopters because it is Marathon Sunday here. The LA Marathon is taking place, and I live right in the heart of the route. As this route dissects the city in half for the day. And I affirm for each and every one of us that wherever you may be today is a place where there is an openness and a revelation to the perfection and the wholeness that we each are as divine beings. And it's through this awakening to our awareness that a shift occurs in our thinking. And ultimately, a shift occurs in our experience of life itself. And so I welcome you, and I invite you to know that you're safe where you are, mentally and emotionally, and to allow this journey of our Sunday celebration service to unfold with the intent that it holds, which is to provocate within all of us peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. So without further ado, I'm going to put our opening slides. We're going to have a lot of slides today. Opening slides on the screen. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles, and we are supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. We say hello to each and every one of you today through the act of Namaste, and it's through that act of Namaste that we bow to you, honoring the divine that is within each and every one of us. Sorry, scrambled just a little bit because I had added a different slide there. And here it is. Here's our different slide. So as we all take a deep breath in and connecting to this power and the source of all that there is, let's honor today as International Women's Day. It's a covenant of to care to change. And so without a doubt, we believe that the being in the upper vibrant square that's animated with all the sparkles is probably a woman, and I'd invite all of you to feel the connection to women in our world today, and to feel the gratitude, and as we say Namaste, that within me, which is the power and the source of the only thing there is, honors and acknowledges that within you, and specifically to you as a woman and to all women. And so let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale and say aloud Namaste, let's do that with the intent to say thank you and celebrate women. Let's do that again. Inhaling. And as we exhale, Namaste. We are a community that welcomes all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities. We stand with you literally and metaphorically. We celebrate your state of independence as an expression of the divine. Ernest Holmes says, Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. I invite you to use your words with me as we affirm the words on the screen. We welcome one and we welcome all. As a community, we come together to teach primarily the philosophy, faith, and way of life known as the science of mind. As a publication, it'll be 100 years old this year, and at its core, the science of mind focuses on the oneness of life itself, and that we individualize that oneness, as stated earlier, as Spirit has placed its stamp upon us, because we're all individualized expressions of that which is, and being one with the one mind itself, and because we process and experience and express thought through our mind, through the lens of our own individual minds, then it appears that life is different for all of us, and it is experientially, although the impetus of the power itself is all interconnected as the same thing. What does all that mean? It means if you want a different life, change your thinking, change your life, because we live in a universe that's governed by spiritual law. And it responds to our state of mind, which is partly created through our thinking, our beliefs, our actions, our reactions, and interactions with life itself, and provides through us at the experiential level, both moment by moment and at the broad space of life itself, life that reflects the state of mind. And so should we desire to have a different experience in life, it's up to us to make that decision and then to act accordingly. Today, my message for us in the center of the service is really going to be about planting seeds in mind. And so I invite you to open your mind to that in a new way as you hear our vision statement, supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, and hear that in a new way right now, today. We are all on a journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. What does that mean for you today? And my invitation for all of us is to simply just be open to experiencing it in a new way. Doesn't necessarily have to be better, but just new, something we haven't felt before. Our ritual to awaken this within us is called calling in the light. In the physical space that you're in, if it's safe to peer at the screen and see the flickering flame, I invite you to do so, and then to close your eyes and to allow it to be an imprint in the back of your eyelids, that place we call the optic screen. And hear these words. Today we perform this ceremony called Calling in the Light to draw into our gathering a more conscious awareness of our oneness. And this ceremony acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so as we feel the vibration shift during this experience, may we become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you and it includes me. The qualities that I stated earlier include peace, defined as that state of inner calm so complete that nothing can disturb it. It includes power, the energy by which everything lives. Beauty, the loveliness of the infinite beheld in its creations by the eye of humanity. Spiritual man, the being of spirit, beholds this divine loveliness everywhere. Light. Ernest Holmes defines light in this way: in flashes of illumination, the inspired have seen into the very center of reality and have brought back with them a distinct impression of what they've seen and felt. The quality of life in the science of mind is defined as the animating principle of being, that inner something that makes everything live. And the quality of love. Love is the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Love is a synonym for God. Joy, the emotion excited by the expectancy of good, gladness, delight, and exultation. And wisdom, the intuitive knowing, spiritual intuition, the voice of the divine within as the source of understanding, mental action based on the oneness of life. and the presence of spirit within. I invite us all to open up and not only hear these words anew, but to remember this is the same slide we kicked off 2026 with, and to just give ourselves the opportunity to tune into the journey that we've been on. And as we virtually light a candle, awakening within us the qualities and the awareness of these qualities as spoken a moment ago, let's feel the shift as we light this virtual candle. Thich Nhat Hanh writes, lighting this candle, offering the light to countless Buddhas, meaning all of humanity. The peace and the joy I feel brighten the face of the earth. Today it's my invitation for all of us to, with intention and purpose, and with a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to do so, with our own energy, brighten the face of the earth. Jason's going to come on the screen and take us through the song, Calling in the Light. The lyrics for this are on the screen, and I invite you to sing along.
Calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. I am love. I am peace in my heart. I am free. I am spirit. Yes, I am soul. All together we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light. Calling in the light of love. And so it is, and so it is.
Very, very, very heartwarming. Very heartwarming. You've got the light of love shining over your shoulder and illuminating the dome of your head. You're drawing it in. You're a light magnet.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So the next song that you have for us is really all about love, right?
Absolutely.
And so I invite all of us to hear it, both from the journey of love, as the self-givingness of the spirit through desire of life to express more of itself in terms of creation, as well as an emotion that we're sending out to all women here on International Women's Day, and then whatever else it may mean for you all, right?
Yep. This is a Burt Bacharach tune.
What the world love, well, it's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. But there are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Well, it's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Well, no, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. Yes, there are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to cross. And listen, Lord, if you wanna know, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Well, it's the only thing that there's just too little of. Is what the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, not just for some. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but just for everyone.
Yes. Certainly a mantra to live by, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if nothing more, to even just look in the mirror and sing that song to oneself.
Yeah, especially today.
Yeah. In today's world. And also just to be open to remembering that the feeling of love, the definition of love, personally and spiritually, shall evolve. Right? Shall evolve.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for selecting that. Selection has
pleasure.
been my word for the week. So thank you for selecting that.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Jason. See you in a bit. Beautiful, beautiful song. And certainly not only great sentiment, obviously, but a reminder. And I do think it's so important for us so often to go back to the foundational components of life and to remember that sometimes it is as simple as what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And then sometimes that concept in and of itself is stupefying and overwhelming. But it doesn't mean that we don't have within us the opportunity to experience love, because it is the self-givingness of the Spirit through the desire of life to express more of itself in terms of creation. But because it's within us, it's by opening up to it that we get to connect to it in a greater way. It's really all about receptivity and intention. Today, my intention is for us to be receptive to visually tuning in and energetically to the message that I have for us, which is a slideshow that I've adapted from over the years, and to let it speak to us as a reminder, both as we spark into spring, the time of renewal and restoration, but also to remember our role, and should we desire to experience more love in life, then it's up to us to be that love, to open up to that love, to give it, if you will, to ourselves and to others, and then therefore it will magnify itself. And so here we go. And so it is a new month in essence, and the theme for our month of March is the seed of new life, with the understanding that kindness is like a seed. Plant it in others and watch it grow, and obviously plant it in yourself as well. The seed of new life. It's all about planting seeds and harvesting good. Good in this context is through the lens of good being a synonym for God. God meaning the experience and expression of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And it's by planting those seeds in life that we certainly increase our opportunities to experience it, to harvest it, if you will, to get the fruits of our labor in form. I'm going to open with this quote and close with it as a stimulus for us to understand that being on the journey of life itself is going to be different each and every moment by moment by moment, as well as day by day by day, as well as by seed planted by seed planted by seed planted. Robert Louis Stevenson tells us, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Let's all take a breath and just see what that means to you in this moment. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. And let that be an opportunity for growth and celebration, not feeling punitive by it. We're all about planting seeds, and Deepak Chopra writes, desires are seeds waiting for their season to sprout. From a single seed of desire, whole forest grow. What desires do you have within you right now, waiting to sprout in both the micro of the day by day by day by day by day, or the expansiveness of the journey of your life? And it could be some certainly very, what one would call important and historic components of life: relationships, spiritual health, financial health, wealth, well-being, relationships, all of that. And it could just simply be the awareness and alignment to our innate nature of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And I know I say those a lot. I'm probably going to say them a lot today too, because it's important for me to remember, to remind us that it's by focusing on those qualities, both as a vibrational frequency and as an acceptance and an awareness of that which we are imbued with, that we've set in motion a greater opportunity to harvest those. Healing Open Now writes, be careful what seeds you allow to take root in the garden of your heart. Not all seeds bear good fruit. Why I keep reminding us to plant those seeds of awareness, of peace, power, beauty, joy, and the list goes on and on and on. But I invite us all to look at the visual right now on the screen of the seeds that have taken root and that are growing as a reminder of what we shall also see as we navigate our life on a day-to-day basis. Certainly if you're living in a space or a region where spring is happening, that flora and fauna will be popping up soon. That's all a result of seeds that have been planted at some point. Maybe intentionally, maybe not, but a good reminder to each of us of the opportunities that we have with our thoughts to plant seeds of that which we desire. The great Ernest Holmes tells us in regards to changing our life and careful planting to remember this. In your spiritual garden, meaning the garden of your awareness of your life, you're always planting something. Desires, longings, and hopes, or fears and worries. There's no special season set aside for this kind of planting. Therefore, the subjective mind, soil, must be in the right condition all the time. Reminds me of my longtime teacher, David Walker, who used to say we should all be prayed up. We should all be prayed up, meaning tending to the right conditions of our subjective mind and soul as a result of what we've done in the conscious mind. Holmes goes on to write, you're always planting and you cannot afford to have the good seeds dropped into the soil that contains a mass of weeds. You cannot afford to plant bad seeds, thoughts of negation, worries, fears, angers, hates, resentments. Such seeds will grow just as rapidly as the good seeds and will bring forth a crop of problems, just as surely and abundantly. The soil of the garden has no power or inclination to reject bad seeds while accepting good ones. Similarly, your subjective level mind, the creative medium of law, also is entirely impersonal and will just as readily take your negations and produce for you a crop of illness, poverty, hardship, difficulty, or inharmony. So, be careful about your planting. Be careful about your planting. Now, I want to frame this writing in the context of allowing it to be information for each of us, invitations for each of us, and not looking at whether we've had poverty or illness or fill in the blanks as a punitive nature or blaming ourselves or any self-flagellation, flogging, if you will, of our prior thoughts or behaviors, but just as an opportunity to make a decision right now to be careful about what we're planting going forward. Hence the need to make a decision that if we're planting seeds of new life, to have those seeds, ideas of new life, reflect that which we are innate with. And you know what the answer to that is: peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And to plant those both as a intention and a seed of awareness, but as a foundational methodology of navigating our day by day experiences, and to remember that we have those within us already. So the planting of the seed is a seed of awareness of that which already exists. And by tuning into that which already exists, which is energy, and energy begets energy, that by tuning into that, we shall set in motion a life experience that is reflective of that. And that then, in and of itself, shall bring us more and more of that which it is. So be careful about your planting. In other words, become conscious and purposeful and intentional about that which we plant. How do we do that? Well, the great Rumi, sorry, I got his name wrong, writes this, and for us to use this as a mantra. With every breath, I plant the seeds of devotion. I'm a farmer of the heart. Well, devoted to what? Devoted to our spiritual awakenings, devoted to our remembrance of who we are as divine beings, devoted to the power of choice that we're imbued with, and devotion to the intention to use the spiritual nature of the universe in ways that propagates a consciousness that reflects its innate nature. A farmer of the heart, meaning I'm a farmer of love, the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Love, the symbol of that represents the heart, or the heart represents it, is a synonym for God. My affirmation in the calling in the light ritual God qualities that I didn't share with us earlier because I had affirmations for all of us in regards to love is this: in this moment, let's know together that all of humanity, individually and collectively, surrenders to spirit to express itself in ways of compassion, respect, peace, and understanding. Might seem a quite lofty idea in today's world. And yet we know that for that to be a possibility, to become a probability, it must start with you and I remembering to affirm its spiritual truth. That is being a farmer of the heart. We have to plant the seed for it to take root so that it can be strong enough to emerge through the soil and reach out and bear its fruit. What is its fruit? It's the energy in experiential form and in consciousness form that permeates more than just you and I, the individual, but that as you and I radiate at that frequency, we connect to each other, and then the fruit is then bared, that state of mind, state of being in form, albeit one that might be momentary, but we know what it feels like because we've all been together collectively in person as well as online, and will be today when we sing the song together, Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin With Me. We feel a shift in consciousness just as we do in the song Calling in the Light. That is the purpose of both songs. It's a reminder to each of us of the power that we're imbued with to make a decision to engage in an energy and a frequency that reflects our divine nature, which then creates an experience, an engagement, a literal manifestation of the statement, change your thinking, change your life. And then to change your thinking and change your life. Once again, not punitively, but out of a sense of personal responsibility for staying awake to the best of our ability on the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. The great Jalala Rumi also says this, to affirm this in this earth, meaning in our consciousness, in this earth, in this soil, in this purified field, let's not plant any other seed than seeds of compassion and love. What if you and I were to focus solely on planting seeds of compassion and love? Compassion, when we break the word down, is come, pass, I, on. In other words, to live with passion. Passion is passing I on. It's the self-givingness of God. It's God. It's the energy. It's the power. It's the presence. The awareness of the I am that I am that I am. And then love. The energy itself of the I am. One of the higher frequencies on the map of consciousness. Love. It's life's one vital energy. And so let's open up today to purposefully and consciously live from passing on that as we awaken to the acceptance of the invitation and the intention of the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, but of the journey of planting seeds, as Snoopy did. Seeds of what? Of that awareness of these qualities of the divine that I'm going to read to us again, because it is my purpose and intention today to, yes, keep it simple, but to also to expand our awareness of who and what we are. Well, we're peace. And I'm going to read the affirmation. A state of inner calm so complete that nothing can disturb it. Peace, purposeful energy, activates conscious evolution. The affirmation for us all is, may each who walk our planet know this peace and make choices that reflect such power. The energy by which everything lives. Affirmation, may all use their power in ways that propagates good in the world. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. But I invite you, as we hear that affirmation, may all use their power in ways that propagates good in the world, to ask ourselves, can we invite in for just a moment the belief that it's possible? Where one or more is gathered, it is said. Beauty. The loveliness of the infinite beheld in its creations by the eye of humanity. Spiritual, human, beholds this divine loveliness everywhere. Even in the world of chaos and confusion and war and craziness today, can we see beauty? The affirmation in the ritual for beauty is this: let's know together that today each sentient being honors all that they experience and express from this place of loveliness, the loveliness of the infinite that's beheld in us, and that we each and collectively reap the benefits of this action. We're reaping it right now. Look at the beauty that we get to witness on the screen. Snoopy and the little, can't know the bird's name, but how fun is that? Joy. The emotion excited by the expectancy of good, gladness, delight, and exultation. Just the animated animation on the screen alone can bring us joy. The affirmation is, may we all consciously choose to radiate joy and joyfully receive it as it is returned, multiplied abundantly. Light and flashes of illumination the inspired have seen into the very center of reality and have brought back with them a distinct impression of what they've seen and felt. Give yourself the gift of being open to those flashes of illumination. I had one this morning walking Sweeney when she became nose to nose with a squirrel, and she didn't want to hurt it and it didn't want to run away from her. And it was just this moment of life, acknowledging life, acknowledging life, acknowledging life in a mirrored fashion, where certainly fear could have taken over on my part. Something bad could have happened. But instead, I just trusted the rhythm of what was unfolding. That is those flashes of illumination. That's the spiritual awakening that we all desire to experience more and more and more of. Our affirmation is, as this act of inspiration and illumination unfolds for each being, may they radiate their light into the world in a life-affirming manner, which brings us to the quality of life, the animating principle of being, that inner something that makes everything live. That's the oneness of life that we speak of. And I know there are certain times it's very difficult to wrap our head around it and to agree with that concept. But if we take it from a higher place, that spiritual perspective of an understanding of the continuity of life and the energy that is behind that, then it can at least give us a peace of mind to accept that as something to believe in, as a truth. And then use that in a way to propagate the good that was addressed earlier. The affirmation is, may all use their life in ways that magnifies all of life and ignites a greater awareness and appreciation of and for life. Love, the self-givingness of spirit. I'm going to reread the affirmation. In this moment, let's know together that all of humanity, individually and collectively, surrenders to spirit to express itself in ways of compassion, respect, peace, and understanding. Wrapping up with wisdom, intuitive knowing, spiritual intuition, the voice of the divine within as the source of our understanding, mental action based on the oneness of life and the pureness of spirit within. Our affirmation is, may we all allow our wisdom to guide us in our decision-making, moments of self-affirmation, and times of challenges, and to always bring us back to our center as we know and affirm all is well. We've planted seeds today, and know that the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. It doesn't mean that you can't taste it today. Patience is bitter, but fruit is sweet. So often I think back when I first got into this teaching, when we used to be told that you could experience your demonstration or your manifestation in the twinkling of an eye. And that is true, and we can experience all of these that I just spoke of in the twinkling of an eye. And ellipses, ellipses, ellipses. It's important to understand that it's also about building and strengthening a foundation of mindset, of consciousness, of awareness. This week I was working with a client who had had a very visceral experience an alignment, a deep-rooted shift in spiritual awakening. We've been working together for many, many years. And at one point I said to him, are you surprised by what you're experiencing? He said, a little bit yes and a little bit no. He goes, why do you ask me that? I said, because I remember quite specifically months earlier in a conversation we were having in our counseling session of saying to him, we're putting in motion, and fill in the blanks of all these things. I said, and the day's going to come when this will be your experience. And we're going to look back on it as this, look back on that today. And literally, I witnessed him online become kind of exasperated and trying to catch his breath, remembering that was true. That is a reinforcement for all of us to remember that it is all done in mind, and that mind is not bound by the clock, whether we spring it forward or not. It's about the unfolding of consciousness and reflective of our awareness. I had a deja vu in a story yesterday. I just knew that I had dreamed it, and I remember dreaming it, and it reminds me those moments of like, yep, it's all mind and it's all interconnected. And the more I can tune myself into that without celebration or judgment, the more and more I, Keith, will be able to reveal through the world peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom, not just solely because that is my decision, but because of the frequency that I've aligned with as my innate nature. And because I live in a universe governed by spiritual law, it must respond to that which I know myself to be, because that's exactly what it does. Be open to the new perspectives in life. I always love this slide, and I always have. And maybe we need a bit of humor in this moment. When the son looks up at the tree where the apples are there and says, sorry, Dad, I thought you meant we were going to pick a phone. I know you all get it. What are we called to today? To awaken our mind with intention to harvesting the life that we want, and to know that it's found in our choices, which might be a new Apple phone. Mine's been screaming at me that it needs to be replaced. We'll see if it's time for that. Ann Beeler writes this: if I ask you what comes to mind when I talk about sowing seeds, I think most of us would think of farming and gardening. I grew up in the farming world, she said, as did I, and I'm grateful for my understanding of sowing and harvesting. It helped me better understand the lessons I learned later in life about the choices I make. In gardening, you sow a particular seed to get the crop you want. The seed you plant is the exact crop you will harvest. You can also sow seeds for the quality of your life and the direction of your future. There are seeds we plant and harvest that impact our spiritual and emotional well-being. Even though I understood sowing and harvesting in the gardening world, I had very little understanding of what it meant in my emotional and spiritual life. I found myself in a place I became all too familiar with, asking the question, how did I get here? You might be familiar with this place. The not so simple answer is, I found myself in that place because of the seeds I sowed. And the seeds, in this case, are the choices I make. Choices. Cheryl, this one's here right for you. Tatiana says, choices. Choices. And then Mr. Simpson says, there's so many choices. Choices create chances, create changes. Choices. They're the engine of our evolution. If you choose consciously, you will evolve consciously. If you choose unconsciously, you'll evolve unconsciously. As the great Gary Zukov says, consciously is far better than unconsciously. Trust me, been there, done that. And then he goes on to say, the gift of choice is the second greatest gift we've been given, second only to the gift of life itself. Today, I invite us all to become very clear on what choices we're making in regards to the seeds that we're planting, so that we may have the experience and the joy of harvesting good, a life that is reflective of our divine energy, that, of course, is one of peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. It is your reality. It's already there. All that is being called upon for you is to accept it, to choose it, to live it, to let it be, and to take a deep breath in and be thankful for it. And then when it shows up maybe a bit differently in form, to start over and plant anew. No matter what, all is well in life. And to remember that if you want to grow an apple tree, you must plant an apple seed. If you want to grow an orange, you must plant an orange seed. Same with all of the other qualities. If you want to experience clarity, you must practice clarity. If you want to experience equanimity, you must practice equanimity. If you want to experience transformation, you must plant the seeds of possibility. The visual above shows us how a plant grows from a seed. And that's the same with any other experience we desire. So starting today, later in the message, as I said I would bring us back to this quote from Robert Louis Stevenson: "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." All living things are individual instruments through which spirit thinks, speaks, acts, and reveals itself. We're all interrelated in a common accord, a common purpose, and a common good. We're members of a vast cosmic orchestra in which each living instrument is essential to the complementary and harmonious playing of the whole. Try not to ever forget that as you continue to plant seeds and harvest good. And so it is. Thank you. Jason's going to come back and take us out on song.
Grand earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice. Seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken from my regard. But through it all, my eyes are on you. But through it all, it is well. But through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. Far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see, that this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in him. The waves of wind will know his name. So let go, my soul, and trust in him. The waves of wind will know his name. So let go, my soul, and trust in him. The waves of wind will know his name. The waves of wind will know his name. Yes, it is well. my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me.
Wow. Beyond stirring.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, it has so many layers of meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. What I think of when through it all, my eyes are on you is kind of the lyric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I met with this artist yesterday to view his work, and I said to him, "You have such an interesting view, like the way that you paint eyes and ears and body parts." And he answered it in this very philosophical, spiritual way. Young guy too. And so I said to him, I shared with him I said, Michael Beckwith? He said no, and I was like, I love his rap, his spiritual rap chant about the Buddha. You gotta listen with the ears behind the ears and see with the eyes behind the eyes and feel with the heart behind the heart. But that's when the lyrics to that song, as you were singing about the eyes, I was thinking of it from that perspective, right? It's the eye that just keeps going, that's seen from way back here. The soulful eye, right? Yeah. Your selection of music today has just been so touching. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And very well thought out, I can tell. So
Thank you.
for being here today. Very much so. Cool. Thank you, Jason. Thank you to all of you for being here today as well. I want to celebrate you on this day and know that we've all been awakened to something new within us today, that our soul is indeed stirred, and that's a good thing. And so I invite you to support our community financially. You can do so by going to our website, csl-la.org, or the app in the App Store, which will give you methods to use any electronic forms to do that. We accept Zelle, PayPal, as well as checks, cash, but we certainly appreciate all of that. And we're a tithing community, and 10% of all that comes in goes back out. And we just tithe to the Hollywood Food Coalition and supporting those that are in need of food. I want to remind you that we have a midweek morning meditation this Wednesday morning at 8:30, as well as a New Thought text for the day goes out. We've also just sent out an announcement for an in-house, in-person concert for Jesse Powers on the 21st of March. Hope you can all make that. Look for that, as well as we have a newsletter that goes out, every Monday that's scheduled tomorrow morning. All of this can be accessed through our website. We're looking to update our website, which is csl-la.org. And want to thank Star and Olivia, who are now running our social media, for the innovative and creative nature in which they've stepped up to do that. It's really kind of wonderful. And and thank you to them. New is revealing itself, and so I invite you to participate in all of that and to tend to it and to sign up in our various social media sites and to acknowledge those posts and those reels that are happening. They're working quite diligently and once again quite creatively, so please be attentive to that. A new class will take place the first 2 Wednesdays of April that's called To Tune In, Tap In, Turn On, or Not To? Question mark. That's it for today. So thank you all. Thank you to Travis for all that you're doing as well, Travis, who support us. And a big thank you to Jason Goldstein. I'm going to state an affirmation, and then Jason's going to take us out with Let There Be Peace on Earth. And I thank you all for being here. You can find more of us on our YouTube channel as well. So let's know together that we are awakened and tuned in and ready for a new perspective and experience of life itself, because we're planting seeds right now that are taking root, ready to be harvested in our life, that are a reflection of our divine nature. We live life with compassion and with love, knowing that it returns to us multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you. Jason, take us out.
Was meant to be, with God as a power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. I take, let this be my joyous vow.